Hey guys, out here with another episode of Road to Masters. I'm actually really certain we will not reach Masters this set just from a number of game standpoint. So we're gonna have to continue this series on going into next set for sure. But I'll try to get as many videos of these out as possible. Yeah. So I've been talking with a couple students, and basically they're stuck in this loss streak pattern. We're on patch 16.7b. This is after the Vayne nerfs. Doesn't really matter, but Bard has been really increasingly popular, I will say. So they've kind of gotten into the trap of like, I'm always gonna make 10, I'm always gonna make max econ, all this stuff, and it's really like stunted their growth, I think. So I've suggested that, you know, going into next sets, this set's not a big deal for them. Going into the next set, the biggest thing is, can they make a strong board in stage 2, and can they learn how to not int? I think that's kind of the really important part here. I also have a set 17 preview coming out. Wait 1 second. I didn't like the Ionia. I probably should have kept it looking back. Sorry, should have been keeping the pairs, but this also made sense. I have a set 17 preview coming out where, yeah, we actually go over the new set mechanic, and I will say that the new set mechanic, there's nothing quite like Bard. Well, there is a couple things like Bard, but you're not gonna have this like crutch to full open, and really the crutch to full open is in 3-cost metas where you can sack till 3-5 and just roll infinite later on. So yeah, it's not something that's really consistent throughout all sets or even all patches. Like Bard wasn't always super popular, right? So I think that being said, we want to play our strongest board in this game. What is strongest on our board right now? And we have a 2-star cog we can play around. We have a JG slam. This is kind of the main things we're thinking about. I was thinking about unlocking Poppy potentially. That's why I put Sona on board, but decided not to. I think I could have unlocked Oriana as well, but I think I want to play around this Kog'Maw. The Vi drop makes it a bit interesting. But I think here, Mogul's Mail, let's flip this. Mogul's Mail is not that good because we don't have a 2-star frontline. If I have a 2-star frontline, it's really, really good in my spot. But because it's not, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take the flexibility. I'm just going to scout. I'm going to take the flexibility of buried treasures here. And try to make a strong board off of this. And here I slam just as much as I think I need to, for better or for worse. I think I needed to play Teemo here, actually. I think Teemo would have been quite a bit better. And unfortunately, we lose this round, probably because I didn't play Teemo, to be totally honest. But that's okay. Teemo and Vi would have been a lot better. Sorry. Too busy yapping. So sometimes you can't get your board all up in time. Ooh, there's so many good ones here. So many good ones. Cogs is generally really good. So we could think about any combination of these, depending on what you think is best. I think I should have really won last round. I think that if I played this, I win for sure. But, you know, try to get your strongest board cooking as soon as possible, is what I will say. I am a bit slow, and, you know, I was trying to explain stuff. So it's okay if you can't get it cooking, as long as you get it eventually going. I think that's the most important part. Here, I always say this, if you don't need to slam, don't slam. There's no point, right? I think that's the really important part. There's no point, and you just reduce your item flexibility later. Maybe I could get a Void Staff here, or try to make a Gunblade or something like that. It just kills my flexibility for later. So yeah, I think we didn't get the strongest board. If we did, we'd be on a 2 streak here, all that stuff. So the faster you are at it, the better it is for you. But I totally understand. Like, I never blame my students if they're just a bit slow at figuring out the strongest board. That does not matter to me. What matters is you got the right idea, and then you can fix things based off of that. I forgot my Void. Adrenaline, not that good. Not that good. So we kind of need to commit into a direction here. I think the Piltover is really good. It is really good for sure, but I kind of don't want to keep too many things. The most obvious thing is, if I think this is my strongest board right now, I should just kind of continue down this path here. I don't think we need to slam here either. We should continue down my strongest board pad. I cannot play like all these units. We need to think about my next in. I think players get really confused about this. You just need to play your next in. You don't need to make a whole new board. If this is my strongest board and this is the shell of my strongest board, all I need is one next in. And to me, my next strongest in is Void. I'm going to support my carry. And that's going to be the most important part here. And throw away everything else that doesn't make sense. Maybe I can add a 2-star Caitlyn and that's something I consider. But everything else is kind of straightforward for me, right? What are we looking for here? Depends what we think we're playing at the end of the day. I think Kaisa is actually really close to us, and it's something that I'm considering here. It leaves us with quite weird items, I will say. AP Flex seems to be the more reasonable option here. I've noticed that there was quite a lot of AP. There's a lot of jeweled gauntlets slammed. So turning this cloak into something useful, I mean, I could go gargoyles here, and I think that'd be totally fine, actually. Probably better, in fact. Lots of swords. So we're always going to level here. It's too cheap to level here. You make 1 gold from winning and 1 gold from streaking, and you get to continue your streak. And I think those are all really important, right? People don't level here because they're like, oh, to make 20. But making 20 is far less good than just leveling and hitting. I didn't scout, but I kind of assume I needed to here. And here we're going to slam everything if we need to. You know, I'm a bad fight judger. I think I'm just going to make everything and figure it out later. I'm a really bad fight judger. So we have our board. I think Adrenaline is not super good, but it's buffing my cog, so how bad could it be? I'm a really bad fight judger. I 50-0'd this guy, sorry. Or 5-0'd this guy. Probably didn't need to slam everything, but, you know, if you're ever in doubt, these are not bad items to have. It's going to be good on my board for a long time. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with extra swords. I guess Sterix would be, like, the best thing I could get. With a sword here, because I don't really particularly love Gunblade, but we're gonna end up with a lot of items is the good news, so it's not a big deal either which way. See, now I'm wondering if this is a bit better. I know this buffs up my guy, but Ari is just a fantastic unit. I'm really quite curious what is better. Scouting my matchups. So we definitely could have 5-streaked here. In fact, the only person that I lost to... I'm gonna slam it. It doesn't really matter. So we do kind of want to make a decision between here and Void. I think Ari was stronger just because I value Ari, like, her doing damage. It's kind of the overall damage that your team has, not just your carry. And if I don't think Rek'Sai is really pulling their weight, then yeah, we'll definitely want to play Ari instead. And if I think Ari is a beast unit, which she didn't prove to be here, then maybe buffing up my cog, 3-item cog, was a bit better. So you kind of have to try to do the math there. And the good news is if you don't know, it's okay. As long as you're thinking about your next in and what makes your strongest board, that's the important part, right? It's not particularly, sorry, gonna get rid of this. It's not particularly important that you end up at the right conclusion. It's important that you're thinking about the right things, and then you can review those things after is the really good news. The really good news is that you can review things after. So I wonder if 4 arc is gonna be ever better than adding Void here. I don't really know. Should put Teemo on board. It's my bad. 4 arc does make a bit more sense. 25 AP sounds a bit better than the damage amp. And more importantly, Malz and this guy are just not very good units, I don't think. Yeah, I'm done with the 4. And I don't think we're ever playing you.
I hope the hero likes me.
We really want to make this. We could make double steadfast. We could also gargoyle it and then save the glove. I think for item economy, nothing wrong with that. And then I think we want to keep Spark open is where I'm at. And also Declaw is really good in this lobby. Gargoyle would be completely fine, in fact, I think, but I kind of want... We're already kind of getting into late game, so I kind of want to make 3 real tank items if I can. Gargoyle just follows it off later. It's not bad or anything, but I think Cloak is a much better component. We can go for Declaw here. We can get Spark here. Just seems like a better open tank component than Glove, which can really only turn into Steadfast. So that's kind of the item economy game that we have to play here or think about largely. I scouted around. I didn't think I needed to level here. What augment are we looking for here? We're quite poor, but we're streaking. So we have a ton of items. So that leads me to believe that we are streaking, so I can get more gold from just being strong. Maybe Best Friends is the best option here. There's also wow, a streaking golden ticket player. That's very scary. There's also other options here, but I think the main thing is that we need to scout, see if anyone's getting particularly strong. Not really. And I think I want to take combat. Oh, wow, this one looks really good here. Matches up with my Kog'Maw. I think all of these are fairly reasonable. Let's just go ahead and take this. And then add this. And as far as I'm concerned, we took a good combat. Yeah, no, is it like the best on my board? Longshot and Glass Cannon don't have perfect synergy, but it's pretty good on my board still. Like, more damage is really good, and I'm not necessarily lacking damage. I think the other ones could have been good, but this one's really flexible and then also synergizes with my Gunblade. So I think any of the combats would have been really reasonable there. But if you've watched my Augment video and which one to take, you'll see that it was clearly combat there because I have a ton of items and I want to continue streaking. So I want to make my board stronger now. I need to scout around and see, you know, if I need to take it. I could greed and take 21 gold or greed and take Pilfer and think about that. But here I'm just going to go with a simple, easy... heuristic on I want to make my board stronger. I want to streak here. I'm getting 4 gold a turn. Believe it or not, I'm making 4 gold a turn every single one of these rounds. We can make Econ here, right? Void is my next in. Are we playing Kaisa is my question. It's hard to play Kaisa without a Rage Blade. Are we playing some AP Flex? I don't really know what that would entail exactly. These boards that I'm playing against are pretty strong. The Teemo board looks strong, especially if they get to Vagar. I'll probably sell the Poppy pair. I don't know if that costed me Econ last turn. I was too busy yapping. But here I'd be really surprised if I lose. They have an Econ Augment, and they haven't exactly used their spat yet. So that being said, they do have a Garen, but I do have combat in 2 forms. I have Buried Treasure and Glass Cannon. They're down combat here by taking deferred power. So honestly, it's criminal that they're streaking right now at all, but you know, it's good to break their streak. And realistically, I should have a ton more gold here because I should have won the first round if I played my strongest board. But hopefully you see it wasn't too complicated. I played around the 2-star that the game mode gave me. It literally gave it to me on 1-1 or whatever. And then we just went from there. Oh, wow. We're going to get a spatula. Really bad. We should think about our open component. I think this one is our best open component. We really don't want to make BT, so I'm considering reforging here. We could also go Jug Spat, which would be really exceptional. I think not in my current spot, but just in general, it's really exceptional. And I don't think we're going to get that, actually. I think we're forced to take a sword here. It's either sword or sword. Just 50-50 wrong carousel. They get a fawn. Not good for us, but yeah. So what don't we have on our board? So should we level or not? Again, here, people think, oh, we're going to go down to 30. It's going to suck. But if it wins me the round, that's the most important part. Does it win me the round? Because if it does, which I think it might, if it does, I should definitely level because this can make me 3 gold from streaking and then 1 gold for winning. And then I can possibly win this round as well. So I'm even thinking about reforging here if necessary to win this round. I don't think I need to reforge here. Again, we never slam if we don't need to. We could use this sword later. We could think about it, but reforgers are very valuable. We never know what we're going to get later if we can get something worse or anything like that. But yeah, I think that's just the idea I want to stick in your guys' head. But if you're bad at fight judging like I was, you can slam your items or do all the high tempo things to make sure you win the round. Yeah. I'm really worried about our direction. We haven't really talked about our direction, but there's a bunch of people who are going fast 9. Like, this person's in an incredible spot. They're They're streaking with Econ, which is really good for them. This should be quite a bit better. Teemo never came into fruition, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm quite worried because we're going to be, like, slowest to 9. Not because we played our game bad, but because we just simply don't have the econ augments that other people do. But maybe they're going into Rise Volley, and so we have a chance. I'm probably going to keep the red buff on her. But do we need to slam here? I'm going to reforge here. Again, I'm not really sure. Can't make that. Let's just slam this instead. So we were hoping for a completed item here is what we were hoping for. If you were happy with BT, I think that's totally fine. Personally, I was not happy with BT and was willing to take a risk here because I don't think sword leads to a lot of good components. And I'm still the worst fight judger in the world as we clearly just beat this person. I did not see their augments that they are double econ. So there's a lot of double econ players here. The good news is that we've took power and we've gotten econ in the form of this, right? We're actually the same same gold as this person, believe it or not, which is kind of crazy, right? Yes, they have more. Sorry, just to go back to their board. Yes, we just had 50 gold, right? We just bought a bunch of units, but sorry, they took explosive growth, so they took 8 gold, but we actually have a little bit more gold in the scheme of things. I'm not quite sure what I want to play here. We should have moved our items over to Ari, so that's my bad. Do we want to make Teemo 2? Probably not. Now we have Declaw and Spades here. I think I'm going to make Void Staff. I think we're going to carry this Ari to 9. So I'm going to put all my good items on her, which is this, Nashers. And I think we're going to put Gunblade on her, actually. And we still don't have Shred. I'm going to play my 4 Arcanist guy more so than anything here. I could have made the Teemo 2, and I think that would have been completely fine. I was trying to figure out my board if it made sense, but... Right now, we're playing more around Arcanist, so I know Kai'Sa's a bit better than Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw has my 4 Arcanist, so I definitely want to play around him if possible. I think he will do more damage than Kai'Sa, and especially with my item components, I think it makes a bit more sense. And then here, I don't want to reforge anything because I really want to make Spark here. I have Zoe right now, and Zoe's good, but I want to make Shred here, right? That's the main thing I'm missing on my board. I have a bunch of other really good things. I have 2 AP carries, really, and they're going to be Giga from the Glass Cannon, but what do I really want here? So we could take power here, but we also need to consider about our cap and like what comp we're playing. Right now, I feel like I'm in such a good spot. I really need to cap out higher, which makes me believe that I need to go 9 here. So I got a bunch of good combat here, but I think I don't want to roll on 8 because I don't really know what I'm rolling for on 8. I really just want to go 9 here. So 3's 3 makes the most sense to me. If you wanted to take combat, that also makes sense, but you know, maces make sense. Even Gilded Steel makes some amount of sense. It's some compromise in between. I could see it. It's like combat and thing. I think 3's 3 was a bit safer. Yeah. So we don't really get anything here. We don't really get anything here. So I think 3's 3 was a bit better here. But I kind of wanted to Gamba here. And it's also still combat, so I am streaking. I don't know how strong I am. Everyone else is rolling. I'm planning on going 9. But if I do hit 9, I should be incredibly, and I mean incredibly, very, very, very strong, right? So even if I win this round, you know, because of the extra durability that I got, I think this gives me 4 more gold, right? And so that's where 3's 3 has a downside, but obviously the upside is quite clear with 3's 3, right? I think I need more tankiness, not more this thing. And I could get rid of Long Shot Void completely in lieu of this, but I think for me, my main conception of my comp is just needing more damage here, and I don't really know how good Fiddle is overall really at adding damage. It's more like backline access in my head. So we shouldn't expect to beat someone like this who spent all their gold. We have not spent our golds. These people have all spent their gold. So they should win, but I'm looking to spike later into the game. I'm not looking to spike now. I'm looking to spike later. So it's totally okay if we lose this, and we should be expecting to lose this. It's totally fine to lose this, right? If people spend their golds and you don't, you shouldn't expect to win. And you can't always just be the highest tempo in the lobby. At some point, you've got to be lower tempo because you are trying to fit your board into the end game, right? That's the end goal, is not just always tempo, tempo, tempo. It's that you're trying to fit your end game goal in there, right? Here, I'm really looking for Spark or Void. I think Void is quite a bit better here, but I will be totally happy with a Spark. We could cap out with Shurima. We want to make Spark, but Spark's a little awkward here for sure, but because I don't really know what this bow wants to be at the end of the day. We already have Zoe on board. The Piltover is good, so we could play some Piltover flex here. This is too many traits. So even here, we don't have to play strongest board because we shouldn't expect to win, I think is the important thing. I don't... it's probably always Sparks, sorry. I'm not sure what this wants to be. Maybe another Nashor's. Is kind of what I'm thinking, is maybe it's another Nashor's. Zoe never needs to go on board. I don't know if we're ever playing around you so much as we're playing around defenders. So right now, I'm just going to put the key units I think I want. So Nico might make sense. Vi might make sense. Just the key units. Garen, we'll always look for Garen, right? And I think past this, we're looking for any AP carry here. I think we're too late for Mel, is my opinion. I don't know exactly what we're playing. I still don't know exactly what we're playing, but Seraphine, Shurima, Flex seems like it would kind of make sense here. I have a lot of carries. I would need to alternate winning and losing. So if I somehow win this fight, that'd be really, really good for me. I think otherwise we're going to unlock Nasus here, which I think would not be the worst thing. Nasus does kind of... We do need a tank at some point. Though I don't know if I love Nasus. I'm wondering if I should take this out to reset it. I think I'd much rather have Xerath, and I just... There's a lot of tanks on 8, like particularly like Tibbers 2 and that. I'd much rather have a chance at Xerath. I don't know if this resets it completely, or if it even counts, or if we just unlock Xerath anyways, but that's at least what I'm thinking about right now. They're playing for Sylas, but you can tell you shouldn't play for Sylas if you're hard stuck level 8. They have a Jarvan with a bunch of Sylas items. But yeah. So we're trying to build towards our endgame. Now we get to think about endgame. This is not the stage we're going to win. This person has 2 Annies. That's something for me to consider for sure. Don't think we're headed down that path. We could go down Ziggs as well. But we don't have any Yordle with 3 items, so... Have to be a Yordle or a Zonite. Ziggs is definitely an option. I think Ziggs makes some amount of sense at the very least. But I don't really want to level for it. I think I'm closer to like Seraphine and stuff like that. Don't know if Seraphine's any good on this patch. Honestly, I really don't know what the best units are. It's just, I have Seraphine pair. I'm going to play to what my board is. If I wanted to hard 4 Ziggs, that's totally fine as well. So does this reset it? I think it resets it completely. So that's pretty interesting. Another RE. So I think people would think about panicking and rolling here. There's actually no need to roll. I know this sounds crazy. There's no need to roll here. Let's see. Go for Nashor's here, and then we have Crown Guard. Balance my front line and back line. I have 2 sets of frontline items, backline. We're going to be off intervals, so there's actually no need to roll here. I'm going to put a Azir back in for Shurima. I'm okay to get Renekton. Renekton's not even good. I really am gunning for Xerath, so maybe I could force Xerath here, is what I'm thinking. Xerath is one of the best AP units in the game, and I can lose this round, spike the next round, because I'm going to be rolling a bunch. we'll see. I'm still wanting to play around Annie. I think really ideally we're playing around Annie. I'm not going to use removers. Of course, we could make a stronger item combination here, but we need to save removers for later on. This is not my time to be strong. Saving a little bit of HP here isn't a big deal in my head. I have 59 HP. I should be willing to sack this HP for more gold. If I level off interval, that's 4 gold I'm never going to get. I can do the math later, but that's just the idea. So I'm going to get off these like really preemptively. There's no way I'm running this. And everything else, let's keep. I think I'd be really crazy to... I'm looking for AP carries, AP carries. Need to sell the Seraphine pair. Couldn't exactly figure out what to play here. We'll fix these items later. The Zillion came a little bit too late, so we are going to end up unlocking Nasus, rather, which I don't think is that good for me, to be totally honest. I was hoping to play someone weak here, but that does not look like it's happening. And we need to play Defender as well. Don't really think Fiddle makes it onto these boards. This person really wants to be on the board. So it's a very poor roll down, to say the least. We're still 1-star everything, so we're still quite weak, I would say. We're still like very, very, very weak, actually. We're 1-star everything. Maybe we still didn't have enough gold. At the end of the day, like, you need a ton of gold, and I don't think I have enough gold. And also, we're a bit contested. It makes it a bit harder to hit Annie when there are no more Annies, Garens, when there are no more Garens and stuff like that. That's why so many Seraphines showed up. I'm not thinking about Seraphine 3 because there's just too many good things I can possibly get on my board to be holding up 8 gold on bench, or even worse, 12 gold if I hit Seraphine 2. Forcing the alternating now is a bit hard. It's possible that I should have dropped Azir out of my board to win that round, but I would need to scout my matchups to know for sure what was good and what was bad. Built over. We kind of want a Vi, right? That never came in. Could have Disruptor Annie. Disruptor lets us drop Azir. Kind of like Disruptor here. None of the other things really make that much sense to me. We don't have to play Azir on my board, and Disruptor is just a generally good spat. So I'm thinking about just gonna 3 out of my bear for now. I know I'm really close, but I'm also really far from hitting my board, so I think I'm gonna chill for a really long time, actually. I think I'm going to chill. I even think I'm going to throw away the Nasus to make Econ, because I really don't see how this goes on my board at the end of the day. Unless I hit one of the good units. But my board's really under-upgraded. I really just need to chill until I can hit many, many things here. I could hit Taric 2 in one roll, but it's pretty hard. All the Tarics are out. I see, like, so many Tarics out here. Annies are out as well. So we're just very, very unlikely to hit. This is the person who was going 9 that we talked about that was in a really good spot. Obviously, they ended up making it. They're on a razor's edge here, but they did end up making it. And look how strong they are now that they've sacked all their gold and stuff like that. I'm honestly not sure I'm going to be able to cap out here. Yeah, I'm honestly not very sure we're going to be able to cap out here. But something we can hopefully look for. With 2 lives left, I think we actually have to roll here. Got Silas unlocked. And I think we actually want to drop out of the... Not much else to play is the problem. I don't really know if this Annie is casting, to be totally honest. It might be better to just put all these items onto you. And reforge, maybe reforge the red buff. I'm not really sure. The big hits that we need to hit, obviously, right now are going to be Silas and Annie, but those are pretty far away. It's going to be hard to hit a 2-star 4-cost here, I would think. So we're going to hold all our tank outs. We talked about Taric being really contested here. I will be happy to play Nasus 2 over Taric. So maybe I shouldn't have sold that initial Nasus way back when. Or not even way back when, a turn ago. Piltover seems really good on my board. Continuum Cogs seems like it'd be really good. We could possibly think about throwing this away. I think this makes more sense on you, actually. And Tibbers 1 is probably stronger than Taric, but we're going to have a pair coming up soon. Yeah, what are my empty slots? It's just Taric for this guy. That makes sense to me. These are pretty good items on Nasus. Nasus is a good tank. So it's something we definitely should have not been neglecting.
I'm not going back to the dungeons.
Swain 2 is Swain 2, but still missing like the key units on my board in my head. Edge of Night is too good on this guy, right? I think it is. I'm at 3. Oh. Okay, this is going to be a solid second from us. Hopefully a solid second. I was not playing defense. This was the Bilgewater player I was talking about who did end up hitting a 3-star 4-cost on 8, which does make sense. They had Priz ticket and were quite healthy, so no shame in getting second here. Oh, we do finally get the Xerath unlock, so we can start pivoting out of all this other trash, to be honest. We might go third here, it looks like, just because we do not beat Sign 4. Looks like we were just too poor, and honestly, these people are in really good spots, and they hit really good win cons, so ain't nothing wrong with that. I think I'm getting rid of this. We're still not strong enough is the crazy, or still... All my units on my best units. I actually think Xerath is a bit better. Hopefully there's some crazy ghost bug, but I think this person has Silas too, so it's going to be really hard to win, I would imagine. We also don't get one of the good Xerath charms here, but, you know, I've seen crazier on ghost boards is all I will say. We're never going to beat the MF3 guy, so that really sucks for us, but I think this is a solid second. You can't always win your games. Like, there's people with just giga win conditions here that we can't really beat at the end of the day. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a completely reasonable and solid second here. We didn't exactly hit on a roll down either, which is not a big deal. I think it's totally fine to not hit on your roll down, but that does mean that our cap is going to be a bit lower. We did see that we were pretty strong here and did beat this person kind of in spite of that. I do not think that we're going to beat Orange Cat, that being said. That being said, I do not think we are beating Orange Cat over here with the MF3. A second is completely reasonable. Sometimes you can't win every game, and this is one of those games where it's obviously going to be pretty hard to outcap an MF3. Especially when they hit, I'm pretty sure, quite early as well. So hopefully you guys see how to build your board iteratively from the early game. I think that was the main thing this game. And we played for our highest placements and saved our gold. And we knew when we needed to be weak and when we needed to spike as well. I think those are the main takeaways from this video. If you're ready to actually start climbing, head over to tftgameplan.com. dpei's Disciples is my monthly coaching membership, and it gives you full access to my daily meta reads, weekly live Q&As, personalized feedback with unlimited spot reviews, and full access to my library of past coaching sessions, all for $15 a month. One-on-one coaching is also available if you want to improve even faster. Links are in the description below. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.